Hi, I'm Kelly and welcome to this video. And I am here to just shake things up a bit. I'm going to get you thinking about yourself, your body and your life in a way that you may not have thought about before. Because you are unique. You are a beautiful woman who gets to choose what is right for you. And as a love body mentor, I feel it is so important for women to connect with themselves on a much deeper level as they listen to the woman within, learn who they truly are, and love every single part of themselves again. Do you feel inspired to love all of you again? If you are, then I would love you to subscribe to the Love Body channel so that you can discover even more love and joy for your life. So in this video, I want to share with you a concept that I have really had great success with. And if you don't already know, if you haven't sort of seen any of my other videos before, then I'm going to share with you that I absolutely despised myself for most of my life. Really from, I think, before I was even a teenager, really, sort of around that age. I'm not sure exactly when it started. It sort of slowly crept in. And it just moved with me my whole life, and it consumed me. And I hated my body, I hated myself, I hated my life, I hated my family, I hated all of it. And I just really desperately wanted to be someone else. And as I grew older and those teenage years kind of took hold of me, that hatred and that loathing just infiltrated every part of my life and every part of my being. It didn't matter what I did. I did all of it with a full-blown sense of hatred. So I ate the hate. I tried to have fun, but I hated myself. I tried to work out, but I hated myself. I went to school and I hated myself. I hung out with my friends, but I hated myself. The hate for myself, it really was just everywhere. I couldn't escape it. So for years, that was all I was. I was just hate. Hate for everything. For every single inch of myself and my life and my body. It became my normal. It became who I was. It was how I functioned. Very dysfunctionally, but I somehow functioned. And because that was what I was, I became angrier and angrier and angrier, and I didn't know how to deal with any of it. I didn't know how to deal with my feelings about all of that hate. And there wasn't anyone to talk to about it. So I just kept filling up with all of this blistering, scorching, burning anger. It just burned so badly inside of me. And I just became the angry woman who was full of hate. But I also hated anyone who was skinny and who looked better than I did, who had a boyfriend, who had the perfect life. Like, how dare they have all of that while I'm over here completely suffering in all of my hate? Why can't everyone else just be suffering like me just as much as I was? How fucked up is that kind of mindset? And my mindset, it was crazy, and I became irrational and I became fearful. I allowed dark thoughts to just penetrate my mind and my body. And I sat with this whirlwind of destruction inside of my mind because the hate was stronger than anything else inside of me. And I didn't know there was anything else inside of me, like even a little bit of anything else. And that hate, it prevented me from enjoying my life. I had resting hate face. It wasn't bitch face, it was fucking full-on hate face. And it was all the time. Smiling was completely foreign to me. Resting hate face is definitely eased quite a bit now. It's not so prominent anymore. And my face, I hope, looks much softer. And I do smile that little bit more. But sometimes I do have to consciously tell myself that it's okay to smile. That I can just, you know, be happy and feel good. Because it is natural. It is our natural state, but I undid all of that. So it became unnatural for me to be smiley and happy and joyful. And it has gotten so much easier, and it's not something I have to think about quite as much anymore. So it's slowly disappearing. I'm getting rid of that awful hate face that I had stuck on me for so many years. And I'm allowing the real me to come out. So whenever I feel like maybe the old me is coming out to play, or whenever I start behaving in a way that really no longer represents who I truly am, I just say this to myself: I love myself anyway. Now, this isn't a get out of jail free kind of card that you can just kind of use to justify you being shitty at people. But when you are shitty at people, you still get to love yourself anyway. And I certainly don't use it to justify those quite rare moments now, thankfully, when I am, you know, a bit too angry, and I allow that to kind of take over. But it is such a wonderful way of believing in yourself in that moment, that when you do kind of fuck up and you might say or do something that you really just didn't mean to do, it just kind of come out, that you get to love yourself anyway. And I know I don't need to hate myself anymore, because inside of me there really is this abyss of love, and it is so deep. But it's taken me years to reach the bottom of it and find it. I've been searching for it for most of my life, thinking it was kind of out there, but I just found it inside of me. And it was waiting for me this whole time, waiting for me to rediscover it. And I was born with this abyss of love, and so were you. I wandered too far away from it. And I've allowed myself to find my way back. So anytime that I need some reassurance, or I need to stop feeling guilty about eating something that I think that I shouldn't have, or I feel a certain way, or I want to feel a certain way, just feel better about myself, and just get myself into a place of enjoying what I'm doing, you know, whatever it is, I just kind of dive down into that abyss of love that is inside of me, and I just tell myself that I love myself anyway. And it really, really has worked amazing for me. I've been doing this for, I don't know, a year and a half. I don't really know exactly, but a while now. And as I said, I was so full of hate. And I truly, truly believed that this hate would always be with me. It would stay with me forever because it was who I was. There was no way that I was ever going to get rid of it. I just didn't think that I was ever going to get rid of it. But since using this phrase in those times of hate, a huge shift has happened inside of me. And I have to say that the hate it's pretty much gone. It really has, honestly, almost disappeared. And it feels amazing. I never thought that I would get to this place. I never thought that I would feel this way. My life, it just feels so much better. I don't beat myself up as much anymore because I might have eaten an extra piece of cake or you know, I said something that I didn't truly mean to say, but it kind of came out a little bit more hate face than it should have. I can look at myself now in the mirror, actually look at myself in the mirror and see myself, because I get to love myself anyway, because there will probably always be shitty things that happen in our life. There will always be those moments where we could have behaved just a little bit better. There will always be moments where we should have, you know, stood up for ourselves. Or maybe we ate something that we just really are feeling really awful about eating. We feel so guilty. And, you know, sometimes things just suck. And maybe you can't deal with things. And it puts you back into a place that you no longer want to be in. You know, whatever might happen in your life, those not so great moments are those moments where you get to love yourself anyway. Because you're doing the best that you can. You're learning from those shitty moments so that the next time you can do it better. You're giving yourself a chance to be who you are at all times because you love yourself anyway. You know, when you look in the mirror and all you see is a fat body, a body that's not perfect, a body that you believe must be skinnier, must be more toned and more tanned and, you know, move more and do this and do that and less wobbles and less jelly belly and all that bullshit that we fucking say to ourselves. So when you look in that mirror, instead of seeing all of that, just tell yourself, I love myself anyway. And honestly, that woman that you see in the mirror with those supposed tree trunk thighs and those fat winged arms, which, you know, I got, and that jelly belly, all of that, that maybe has birthed your beautiful, amazing children. Well, that body deserves your love. That body deserves for you to look at it with loving eyes, for you to love it anyway. Because your body is friggin' amazing. It works so hard for you every single day without you even knowing what's going on inside. So when you see it as a thing that you hate, a thing that you despise because it is not what you have been told it is supposed to be, well, all of that's just bullshit anyway. Because you just fucking love that thing anyway. It's your body. And nobody gets to take that away from you. So love those thighs and love them because they help you to walk every day. They get you to where you need to go. And love that jelly belly because maybe it grew some amazing children in there. Or just because it works so hard for you. And love those bat wings up, bat winged arms, because they get to hug all of those people that you love. And they comfort your kids and they can comfort you and anybody else who needs a big hug. Because it's all about perspective. And that's what this beautiful phrase does. It changes your perspective. So do not continue to live in misery and hate any longer. You have really been gifted with this amazing life. And it is yours to live with love. Because you do get to love yourself anyway. That love inside of you, it is yours. It is yours for the taking. You can go in to your own abyss at any time and just scoop out as much as you need. Because the supply is endless. And you don't have to ask permission to go in there and get all of that love. It's just in there, always waiting for you. Because you are allowed to love yourself. You are allowed to give yourself a break from all of the hate and all of the loathing and all of those not so good feelings that you feel about yourself and your body. You are allowed to be loving towards yourself and your body. See, as women, we're just expected to be self-deprecating because a woman who loves herself, well, we look at them and oh my gosh, she's a bit up herself, isn't she? Like, how dare she feel good about who she is? Like, who does she think she is feeling that way? And I've seen too often how a woman is treated when she does love herself, when she shows her love for herself. We think she's conceited and her confidence is just, it's uncomfortable for us because we don't have that same level of confidence that she does. So we get defensive and we get protective of our shitty feelings, and then we can become savage toward her and bring her down back to our level because that's where she belongs, here with us. And in my experience of being around women who show themselves love, I certainly have felt very uncomfortable and uncertain in myself. I've allowed their confidence to affect me because I was so insecure about my feelings for who I was and what I looked like. But we really shouldn't allow our insecurities to stop other women from expressing their love for themselves. We must allow ourselves to be in our own love and allow other women to be in theirs as well. Can you imagine how wonderful that would feel? How wonderful that would be, what life would look like, how better all of it would just feel and be, and how much we could really achieve in our life if we just allowed ourselves to love ourselves and allowed other women to love themselves too. If we stop wasting so much of our time hating who we are and hating our life and hating our bodies, what would life look like then? How much free time would we have to be able to pursue our dreams and have fun with our family and laugh and enjoy eating, enjoy our food, instead of just feeling so guilty all the time because we ate something that was just naughty and it's full of all these hostile calories that are going to come and just ruin us completely. What if we choose not to spend our time? If you choose not to spend your time hating who you are and hating your body and hating your life. As women, these really are Our top three. The top three things that we can't stand about ourselves. Our lives, they suck. Our bodies are disgusting. And we're just awful. We obsess about them incessantly. And we give ourselves over to what we don't have. What we are told that we are supposed to have, and what we just believe is true about ourselves, even though that might not necessarily be true. Yeah, there's this whirlwind of shit that rises inside of us because we don't have the right job, we don't have the right car, we don't have the right body, we don't have the right house, we're not eating the right things, we don't have the right eating plan, the right exercise plan, the right clothes, the right purse, the right shoes, the right furniture. It's exhausting. Are you exhausted? And worrying all the time about not having any of that stuff. All of those right things. And then that worry leads to shitty feelings about ourselves. It leaves us feeling as though we are not good enough. It leaves us feeling as though our love must come from all of these things, but it doesn't. Your love comes from one source and one source only, and that is you. So when you feel as though you aren't right, and the hatred and the loathing and the longing and the depression and the unworthiness and the feelings of hopelessness and the feelings of failure and emptiness and sadness and whatever other not so good feelings come up for you, when they well up inside you and you feel lost and unsure, remember this and say to yourself out loud, in your head, however it works for you, say it gently and kindly and lovingly. I love myself anyway. And that is one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself starting right now. It doesn't take much. So in those moments where those not so good feelings have taken over and you are beating yourself up because, simply say out loud, shout it, go into a room and just shout it if you want to. I love myself anyway. And just see how great it feels. It really does feel good. And the more you say it, the greater it's going to feel. It's going to build and build and build. And all that shitty stuff is just going to disappear. So say it in any moment that you need to say it, because you deserve to say it, because you are worthy of your own love. So thank you so much for watching, beautiful. And honestly, this is such an honor for me because I get to talk to you about this stuff. And I spent so much of my life being quiet and really not speaking up and just staying so small that I forgot that I have a voice worth listening to. You may not always agree with what I have to say, but that's absolutely okay. You don't have to. And I want you to know that this is a conversation between us. You know, I have lots to say, but I also want to hear what you have to say. So leave me some comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Even email me your thoughts. Just get in touch and let me know what conversations you'd like to have. And of course, if you love this video, please share it. And who do you know who would also love to watch this video? Now you're slow. Seriously? But before you go, I invite you to find out more about the Positively You program. And inside this program, there is so many lessons, so much that you can learn about you and your body and your life, and really help you to figure out what it is that you want and need. This is not a one-size-fits-all program, so that you can focus on bringing even more love and more fun into your whole being as you listen to the woman within, learn who you truly are, and love every single part of yourself again. All right, until next time, love and joy.